Okay. Hello, everybody, Snipe sailors, friends, and SnipeToday followers. Welcome to the first SnipeToday video conference. Now we can pass the microphone to the first of our guests, to Damir Vranic, National Secretary of Croatia, the host country. Please, Damir.
Thank you, Pietro. So once again, hello to everybody and warm regards from Croatia, of course. Just a couple of words from me. When we revived the class, it was back in 2003, I think. It was really difficult to predict we will come so far as hosting the European Championship. It is now the first major snipe event in Croatia after 1970, when we hosted also the Europeans in Mošćenička Draga. And this is truly a crown of all the activities and efforts all the Croatian snipe sailors did over the past 17 years, together with everybody that helped us along the way. And just as a national secretary, I'm really honored to be able to invite you to participate at this 36th edition of the European Championship in Split. Split really is at the moment the center of sailing in Croatia because of excellent weather conditions. Not only that some of the biggest sailing events in Croatia are hosted there, but mostly all Croatian and very often some world-class sailors are choosing Split as a base camp for their major sailing event preparations. So therefore, I'm really confident this will be a superbly organized event. And not to go too long, despite the current situation in the world that affect us all, I really have no doubt that we will all see and enjoy with each other this coming September and beginning of September in Split. So until then, take care and yeah, and stay home. Thank you.
Bravo. Okay, now thanks, Damir. Now I kindly ask Reino, Skyra European Secretary, to explain what the European Championship represents for the snipe class and how important it is and its meaning for the snipe sailors. Please, Reino.
Oh, thank you very much, Pietro. 2 years ago, I had the honor of being part of the organizing committee for the previous Europeans in Bari, Finland. It was also my second time participating in Snipe Europeans, and I really enjoyed it. As you may know, every 2 years we have Snipe Worlds, and in the years between we have regional Western Hemisphere and Orient and European Championships. For us Europeans, the European Championships is the clear #1 event. And of course, we have a lot of colleagues joining us from other parts of the world also. As the participation to the Europeans is open with no country quotas, this event is a great opportunity for all sailors to experience racing in the large international fleet. It's also a place where snipe teams meet and have an opportunity to share experiences and also make new friends. Important part of the event is also serious fun, as you know. On this, I have full confidence on the Yacht Club of Split and Skyra Croatia. For the Skyra and all the European snipe associations, Europeans is also a showcase for our class, with great possibility to gain positive publicity and also additional visibility. At the moment, we are not living in a normal world, and Skyra board and the organizing committee in Split are continuing the preparations and following the health situation carefully, and we are making the final go and no-go call closer to the event. But now I'm really looking forward to meeting many of you in Split in September. Back to you, Pietro.
Thanks, Reino. And now Daniela Semec. Daniela is the European Vice Secretary and the Italian National Secretary. I think she would like to talk about her previous experience at the European Championships and how many Italians could compete in split, considering that Italy is very close to Croatia and there are many boats in fleet there. Please, Daniela.
Thank you. Good evening to everybody, and thanks for the invitation to be here with you. I have participated in various European championships, and from my experience, I can say that the atmosphere we breathe on these occasions is always of great competition in the water, but a lot of and deep and sincere friendship on land. Trieste, and of course Moruzzo, is geographically close to Croatia, and this is one, but certainly not the only one, of the reasons for our frequent participation in their events. And I'm sure that this European Championship will also be organized with the same spirit of generous conviviality that always distinguishes them. Sailing in Southern Europe in the summer is extremely pleasant, and therefore I advise all sailors for Northern Europe to visit Split and Croatia, perhaps taking a few more days off to visit the Dalmatian island. As National Secretary, I will do everything possible to promote the event in order to have the greatest possible participation of Italian sailors. Thank you very much and see you in Split.
Thank you, Daniela. Now Antonio Bari is the chairman of the Rules Committee. Many of you know him very well, and he will give us some news from his perspective of chairman of the Rules Committee. Please, Antonio.
Okay, thank you, Pietro, for inviting me in this meeting. Yes, as you probably know, measurement is an important part of the of every international event, and measurements are necessary to ensure that all boats can compete equally, and nobody will sail with a boat not complying with the rules. But with a large number of entries, it probably measurement may take a long time, and that's what we want to avoid. And for that reason, we are planning to use the same system we experienced in the last two events, European Championship in Santiago de la Ribera and in Pori, with the in-house measurement performed by local measurers on the items that the organizing committee will require to the boats to be measured, and only fast measurement, fast checks of the most important things on site. This will speed up all the process and will ensure more time on the water and less time on shore. That's the most important thing, to have fun on the water and to have fun after sailing and not spend too much time in measuring boats. And for that purpose, I suggest everyone to read the just published articles about the approved amendments to our rules, which are not change of the rules, but only specification, explanation, and bug fixes on the current rules. And I suggest all sailors to read the article I'm writing, which will be published probably in next months, about how to prepare the boat from the rule side, of course, not from the tuning side, to participate in an international event, just to be sure that your boat will comply with the rules and we will not find any problem when the boat will be measured. Also, Pietro, thank you, and I hope to meet everyone in Split next September.
Thanks, Antonio. And now let's move on the main core of this first SnipeToday video conference. We have our locals, our friend Josipa and Marko from Split. They will explain us the Snipe Open European Championship in more details with the help of their PowerPoint that they prepared. Please, Josipa and Marko, the microphone is yours.
Greetings from Split, everyone.
So,
ciao, good evening.
So, okay, hi guys. I'm one of the organizers for the 2020 Snipe Open European Championship we've been talking about so far. And also, so far, we've teamed up with several businesses in order to manage the boat charter company. The official will be DB Marine from Trieste, our dear friends who we meet each year on regattas here in the Adriatic. And also we've teamed up with No Filter Croatia and this hostel I'll be talking about later regarding the accommodation. So we basically tried to fix these two things in order to make it easier for you to come here and participate, Europeans. So as Daniela mentioned before, they come here to Split again and again because it's a really place to enjoy yourself. And just as she already mentioned before, coming to Europeans is not just an amazing opportunity for sailing in good conditions, and you'll definitely have fun with us here, but it's also a great place to come and stay a little bit longer after the Europeans. Take your family, they'll be happy too, and stay for a vacation for a while. So regarding the sailing conditions, the sailing areas and usual weather conditions in September in Split, Marko will be talking about that. But I just want you to take a look at these two photos because it's one of the racing areas we'll be sailing in Europeans. Just take a look at these mountains in the backdrop. So here in Split, while sailing, you have coastline or islands all the time around you. So it's a really enjoyable place to sail. And now I'll give a word to Marko. I give the word to Marko, and
Hello.
he'll be talking a little bit more about sailing conditions.
Hi everyone, happy to see you all together. Thanks for the opportunity to present our plans for Europeans. It's a great opportunity. First of all, we choose first week of September because few reasons, but first and most important, warm weather. And second is that we are not in school period. This way we encourage sailors to come also with their families and of course kids. But let me now give you info about wind condition. I believe that we have maybe 30% of the chance to have direction from southeast. Someone who participated in the last year pre-Europeans regatta will remember this condition because this was condition from the Sunday, from the last race of the event. Also, it can be expected to have a west thermal wind. It is a typical summer wind in the Adriatic. So I think these two wind conditions will be fighting between themselves. Both of this wind is very steady and very predicted by the forecast. Of Bura, but let's see. I think southeast and west wind will prevail. Now about some race course. We have two planned race course. Josipa, please can you switch me for the next? Okay.
It will switch.
Okay. Cursa is inside Castella Bay. In light wind condition, it is flat water. but if it's windy, then can be choppy. Course B is outside of the Chio Island, more to the south. This course is much windier than inside course, can be different in the west wind direction can be different up to five knots. So during the west wind, it's very nice sail area. Both courses are 3 to 4 nautical miles from sailing club, and we will use tender to tag your boats to sail course. Principal race officer will be Alan Kustic. I'm very happy that Alan take this role. I know him for a long time, and I'm sure he is our best choice. He is originally from Split, and he knows perfectly local weather condition. Like race officer, recently he worked in Split next regatta, Laser World Championship 2017, and Fini Master Europeans, I think 2018. Dear sailors, Snipe sailors, if you have any question about condition, please contact me on my or championship Facebook. I will be happy to share my experience and to answer your question. This is all for me for the moment. Nice to see you all. And Josipa, please continue with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So I'll just stay for a while on this slide because you see here I've pointed out the venue, Sailing Club Split. And the other pointer is actually the city center. So basically you're in a walking distance to the city center and all the things you might be interested in doing after sailing, like restaurants, cafes, go shopping, go visiting the old center, etc. So if you're still not convinced after all this that Split is an amazing place to come to visit and to have fun with us and great sailing, you need to check these spaces. This is actually from the test event last September, when we had not so many crews. I think there were 12 of us, but we had 9 countries. So we had many new people came to Split sailing, testing the race areas, the conditions. So we're pretty positive that the interest for the Europeans here in Split will be and is great. A little bit more about the venue, Sailing Club Split. We have our 70th birthday this year, so Europeans are supposed to be one mark of that great anniversary for us as well. We had several big regattas in our club, which Marko already mentioned while talking about our principal race officer as well. And one thing I would like to a little bit brag about from this year, we have an Olympic candidate, Elena Vorobeva, who will be representing Croatia in laser radial class next year in Tokyo. About the facilities, you're probably interested in that. We have 3 launching ramps. Here on the photo, you see our regular one, which we use on the daily basis. We have several boat hangars, which will be for measurements, for equipment. Also, this whole sailing club will be close to traffic, and we'll have a large boat park and area for trailers. And also next to this orange rectangle up in left corner will be our party place. That will be the venue for the social events. We plan a social event each after day of sailing. About travel and accommodation, you basically have all the information on the Europeans website. Also, you're free to contact the travel agency we've teamed up for the Europeans and ask anything about it. But since Dalmatia and Croatia is basically experiencing a tourist boom lately, during summer, you have numerous charter flights to Split Airport, which is 30 minutes from the sailing club. Regarding accommodation, we have pre-booked accommodation for basically all the participants we expect in this hostel, which is right next to the sailing club. It's a 5-minute walking distance from the as I said, venue for the social events after each day. So we're pretty sure you won't have to leave sailing club or area around it at any time and any point of time while staying here. Right next to the sailing club is also the Peninsula Marian. It's a big forest and peninsula where you can go for biking or kayaking tours and also go for a beach in the afternoon or early in the morning before sailing. So we have organized everything for you to have a really great time here in Split. As I mentioned before, there's an official website which Skyra helped us with and provided us with the hosting. So you can find most of the information over there. In this visitors section, you have all the information on accommodation, travel, boat charter. We also have a Facebook page, which you must like, of course. And basically, in the end, you have the entry form, which you need to fill and come here in Split. We have another treat for the Europeans. Croatian Olympic medalist Tonči Stipanovic in laser standard is really interested in sailing the Europeans this year. He actually contacted the DB Marine and will be getting a brand new Snipe. So we will have some tough competition at the Europeans this year as well. That's all from me. Hope to see you in Split, and we'll do our best to ensure that you have some amazing time here and return and sail with us again.
This is a preview file. This is a preview file.